Hey guys, welcome to my Atari 8-bit stream. I just got done with doing the Atari SD stream. If you're here from that, welcome. If not, if you're just here for the 8-bit stuff, awesome, welcome as well. So I have done some 8-bit streams in the past, but I didn't have my standard ranked system that I have that I've been using for the 8-bit stuff for a while. So, or rather for the ST stuff. So I figured, you know what? I'm going to start off with some of my favorites. And so let's get into it. So first up, we have Space Invaders. And Gary, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Gotta love the sound effects of loading. I have a thing to speed that up as well. But so this, as far as conversion or ports, this is probably one of my favorites. It was out. There was obviously a 2600 version of it, but the 8-bit version still has a place in my heart. It was one of the first games to come out on the 8-bit. Came out on cartridge. And small game, but it works. It's one nice thing thing I really like about it over, say, like the arcade, is the aliens are in different colors, whereas in the arcade, it was all one color, and actually it was black and white in the arcade. It just had an overlay to be able to. I always like try to hit the top one before the last one. These guys can be a little fun to hit. Come on. Here we go. It's kind of funny. I can, when I've played this, I hadn't played the game in a really long time. And just all the different sound effects, once I heard them, immediately came back. Listening to it, I'm like, wow, I totally remember this. It's things get in your brain, and it's kind of funny when you hear it or play it for the first time in forever, and you're like, wow, actually, I'm okay at this. So one of the things that is a little interesting with the, for me, for the Atari 8-bit games versus the ST stuff, is that I had a lot more games on the 8-bit. And so there's a lot of games. I mean, I was younger, obviously. I had, my first 8-bit I got was an Atari 400, and I got it when I was 9 years old, so that would be around 1984, somewhere around there, the 84, 85 time frame. My birthday is really close to Christmas, so I'm a little fuzzy on if I was 9 or 10 or whatever. Regardless, I got Atari 400, which has the membrane keys. Sucks for to type on, but it was a computer. It was my first computer. I had a 2600 before that, but getting a real computer that I could actually program on, play games on, make my own games on, etc., was amazing. And while the arcade ports weren't exactly like the arcade game, they were much better than the 2600 versions, by far. I mean, it's one of those things that, you play the 2600 and you're like, oh, yay, that's cool, but it's nothing like the arcade. Where this, actually, I kind of think that this is better than the arcade. I know that might seem sacrilege, but again, with the colors and stuff, it just is fun. I mean, to be honest, I played the arcade version of Space Invaders a little bit, but I played this a whole lot more. So one of the things that's kind of interesting is, I've been doing Atari ST games on streams for a long time now, and I have done a couple of 8-bit streams, but to be honest, as I was starting to say earlier, is I played a lot more games on the 8-bit, and so certain games I was much better at, and whereas what I've been doing for streaming is I've been playing games for the first time. So the difference is I might actually have to stop playing some games. I don't think this will be one of them, but since I typically, my format is I like to play each game about 10 minutes. And one of the things I really like to do is do ratings, but I still haven't gotten there yet. And kind of give my thoughts and, try to do my best at it. But with some of these games, I played them a lot, so I actually was pretty good at them. As I die. One thing that's kind of cool is that the bullets are the same color as the guy who shot it, which is kind of an interesting thing. I don't know if I remember that being a thing. Okay, so I died. Okay, so and it's going to come down and it's going to land. So I didn't quite get 1,000 points, but that's okay. Okay. Hungry Channel, thanks for joining. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, smooth, fast, and colored. I like this version of Space Invaders. Me too. Love the sprites. Have that odd charm. Yep, they're not exact as the arcade, but it really didn't matter. They just wanted to make their own thing, and as long as it looked like an alien, I think they were okay. I really like the box art. I think I've talked about this in the past. Unfortunately, I had to get I didn't get the proper box art. It has the watermark when Atari Mania was still doing watermarks. It always used to frustrate me. I'm glad they don't do that anymore. But the box art is actually very similar to the 2600 box art for a lot of the Atari games. And I love the original old school Atari stuff. The art on all these boxes was just amazing. I wish I could have probably found the non Atari Mania version, but it's okay. Next up, we have Pac-Man. So this one also has Atari Mania somewhere on there. I remember seeing it earlier. Maybe not. The other one definitely did. They had different box versions, which is interesting. Different box art. They went through different revisions. Not of the software as far as I know, but just the box art. Okay. So compared to the 2600 version, this is amazing. The map is the same. It's a bit elongated, I guess, compared to the arcade, because the arcade is vertical versus horizontal. And it has the real sound effects. It's like worlds better than the 2600 version. So I remember playing this after playing the 2600 version, which, as we know, had a lot to be desired. And I was just like, oh my God, this is so much better. This is so much more like the arcade version. Yeah, it's not exact, but, it's very, very playable. Oh, that was kind of a weird glitch there. Normally it shows him, when he's moving, it shows his lips moving up and down. But it didn't for a minute there. It showed him just kind of going across. Yeah, so the 5200 is interesting because the 5200 is basically the console version, a console version of the Atari 8-bit. As far as I know, it was virtually identical. So anything that's on the 5200, I believe that the games were almost almost exact. So I there might have been some differences, but as far as I know, the hardware, and definitely correct me if I'm wrong, the 5200, it was the same thing. Same thing goes with the XE game system, which was really just a rebranded or reboxed XE, Atari X, like a 130 XE or whatever. Probably a 65 XE. I don't know if I had enough. I don't know if I had the same amount of memory. But yeah, so the 5200 will play the same. Now, the big difference between this and the 5200 are the controllers. Atari, in their infinite wisdom, they made some bonehead mistakes on some things. I understand that I think they had envy of the Intellivision controllers that had the keypad on the numeric keypad on there and all that, so they wanted to do the same thing with the 5200. And then they didn't learn their lesson. So at least, so the big thing there is, not that the fact that it had a numeric keypad, but the fact that the joysticks were non-centering. They were just really bad joysticks. And, the thing that sucks is that you can repair the 5200 joysticks, but it won't last. They were not, the engineering on them was horrendous. And it's unfortunate because this system was so much better than the 2600. I mean, they had the amazing graphics like this. It was a full real 8-bit machine with memory. It had a lot more capabilities. And yeah, the Intellivision controllers, I was going to say, the Intellivision controllers sucked. I don't know why they thought that this was a good idea. I feel like if Intellivision had like a pro controller, a controller that was basically like the standard Atari controller that we know and love, or hate, as the case may be, I think they would have been done, amazingly. I think that the people that had the Intellivision were probably always envious of the real controller. You know what I mean? Of having a real joystick. I always remember, going over to friends' houses and they had the Intellivision. I was kind of like, I turned my nose up at it because I'm like, ew, this is, it's kind of cool. They could do some stuff. I'm not going to bother with them. Like if you wanted to play a game that you wanted to have more complexity to it, it was a more powerful machine than the 2600. That's a given. But they didn't have the licensing. They didn't have all of the licenses that Atari had to be able to put out games like this. Even though they did a wonderful job of doing so. And so yeah, I don't know who got in their mind that they wanted to emulate the Intellivision, but it was a poor decision on their part, in my opinion. They could have corrected it. Nice. Kind of forgot that the 8-bit version had this. Wow, that's kind of a bad glitch there. So yeah, I was alluding to the jag pad. That's why I was like going, and they didn't learn their lesson. So funny enough, I was actually talking to my wife the other day about the Jaguar and the keyboard overlays and why I would really like to I'm dead. Why I would really like to collect. So one of the things I'm starting to do more is actually collect physical stuff, and I'd like to have the actual boxed versions of things because one of the things that gets lost immediately with these things that happen with the Intellivision and it happens with the Jaguar is you lose the keyboard overlays. And they're just little flimsy plastic things that break too. And it's just not a good design from a long-term standpoint. Sure, maybe from a short term, it's like, oh, no one wants to save the boxes or any of the extra stuff. They didn't have the foresight to think like that. So that's why like the boxes are kind of horrendous for all these for all the games of this era. You know, they weren't meant to be kept. They weren't, you know, so it's the keyboard overlays were kind of like, you can't rebuy them. Oh boy, this is gonna be fun. Okay, oh, get one more. Okay. So having the keyboard overlays for the one or two games that actually use them would be nice. But yeah, same thing happened with the Intellivision stuff, and I don't understand why they even went there. You know, the 7800 controller, great idea. Too bad nothing really used it. You know, I mean, the 7800 exclusives, I guess, used it, which were Dark Castle, I think. I don't know. There was like a handful of them that might have actually used it, but for the most part, I know preaching to the choir here, but it's just frustrating. We were talking about this in the last stream on the fact that if they would have utilized the 7800 controllers and had the second button to be able to do stuff with, that would have been amazing. You know, use the same port. They could have actually just used, you know, it's like using the other pin on it. Just detect whether or not you have a 7800 controller or select it. It's going to get hairy. Okay, here we go. But, you know, the good thing is, like, on the 8-bit stuff, having the secondary button wasn't as critical. So, like, you know, most of the games of the 8-bit era, especially, like, on the Atari 8-bit, a lot of them were console ports, or not console, arcade ports. So, they didn't, obviously there's no button needed on Pac-Man. Oh, what am I doing? You know, so a lot of the games weren't that complex, so it was okay. But as you get into the 16-bit era, you need more buttons. That's just the way it worked out. And unfortunately, they didn't have the foresight to go there. But alas, it is what it is. I've actually thought about it. It's like, you know, could I go through and modify some of the games to say, you know, if you hit diagonal, or if you hit the button, that'd be the equivalent of diagonal. But that wouldn't work very well because, yeah, which diagonal? It's a little difficult to figure that out. I didn't happen to find a spot where I can hang out, did I? I don't know if the patterns, I know the patterns exist on this version, but I don't know what they are. I don't know about you guys. Definitely let me know. Are you guys, if any of you guys, oh boy, did any of you guys actually learn the patterns to Pac-Man? I'd be really curious to find out, because it's one of those things I've thought about it, trying to do it, and never had the time to sit down and actually do it. Okay, here we go. Version plays amazingly. Yeah, I think Atari hated normal joysticks, so they tried something different with no success. I don't think Atari knew what joysticks/joypads were. All I just had to do is look at the NES when it came out. You know, they could have easily, they could have corrected. Lynx 1 controls are pretty good. Epix knew their stuff. Absolutely. Epix was great. I kind of wonder what happened to Epix. They were still strong. In the 16-bit era, really kind of left them in the dust, unfortunately. I think they had a couple of things in the 16-bit stuff, but unfortunately, during this time, they were king. I don't think I have any Epix games for today, but the Epix was amazing. And the fact that they had two buttons, and the fact that we're talking about the Lynx here, and the fact that you could play left-handed or right-handed, that was really smart. You couldn't do that with any of the others, and the fact that you could do. Sorry, I just read your comment. I'll read it out loud in a second. You couldn't reverse it on for anything else. So I truly think that, and I'm not sure why the Lynx didn't do as well as it should have. I don't think it had the battery life problems that the Game Gear had. It had much better graphics and sound and stuff than the Game Boy had. Yeah, it was big, and that might have been the problem. It was, it's pretty massive compared to all the others, and that might have been the downfall. But I do like the fact that there were some exclusives on there that I actually need to play. And I do have the emulator and stuff I need to set up, and I eventually will want to do a stream of it. I just don't know if there's enough games to really go through it. I mean, I could kind of go through all of them in a sitting, but Lynx is one of those that I definitely need to have. Okay, they have epics to think. Yep. I feel like if I had to have time to learn the patterns, I'd have time to start a hot sauce business. And I was gonna say, and cheat on games, and start cheating on video games on the side. Yeah, it's funny. Funny enough, I actually was in Florida. We were in the airport, I think, and I was like, "Hey, I want to go see the I can't remember what it was called, but there was a Billy Mitchell thing in the airport, like a little arcade thing where, it's like supposedly he had a presence of some sort." I was like, "Oh, let me go check this out." And I was like, and that was the time that, things were still okay with him. I always kind of had my own thoughts about him, but, this was before all the cheating stuff came out. And I was very, very, very underwhelmed with what he had in there. I swear it was a 10 by 15 little thing, kiosk almost, it was a pop-up thing in the airport. It had like a claw machine and like a couple other stupid machines, and had like a display case with like hot sauce and Billy Mitchell swag in there and stuff. And that was about it. I was just like, wow, this is pretty pitiful. Lynx was technically very good for the time. It's a shame. Yeah, I'm actually really kind of curious on why it didn't do as well. And maybe it was because of Atari's marketing at the time. Technically, it was better, actually, as far as I know, than the others. Because I don't think the Game Boy Color had been out yet. I think that the Game Gear was out at that point. But still, I think that it was great. I've never heard anyone complain about the Lynx. Now, did it have a backlight? That's the one question I have, because that's another sticking point in a lot of these consoles. Or handhelds, I should say, not consoles. Okay, Goonies. One of my favorite Atari 8-bit games. And you're going to hear me say, one of my favorite, all these. I had a lot of favorites. So far, this is definitely one that's, I would say, probably a top 10 game for me. I would say, looking at this, man, it would be hard to say on some of these. There's definitely some of my favorites in this list. So graphics by Kelly Day. I believe that was the same guy who did the graphics on Bruce Lee. I don't know if he did all of them from the quadrilogy. I don't know, the Datasoft licensed quadrilogy, whatever you want to call it. I put a lot of hours in on this game. I never beat it officially, but I did beat it with save states. Just because I wanted to see the game. I don't remember exactly what happened. I thought about I could do it on a video with cheating. There's some people. Okay, so if you haven't seen this game, I'm assuming everybody has seen all these games and played all these games. This is a very unique game mechanic. So the idea here is the button switches between two characters. And so the idea here is that each level is kind of a puzzle, platforming kind of thing. But the idea here is that we want to... I'm actually just going to show it just because... so you got the big mama woman running around. If you go down here, she will get you. And that's bad. Bad news. So what you have to do is I have to explain... I guess the previous games I didn't really have to explain what you had to do. So here we go. So the idea here is that we're going to move this chair over here. And we're going to jump up here. And there's a printing press for like making counterfeit money that is spitting out money here. And so she has to, she's distracted. So you can walk around here. Now, I think you can get too close to her and she'll get you. Well, so the idea here is that you have to knock over the water and go down here. And then you have to time the, hitting the button switches between. So what you have to do is you have to time it so that the bill is right. So you come down here and then boom. So now what we have to do is we just have to go over here. I love the fact it's got sound effects and music going at the same time. Recurring theme. That's one of my pet peeves. A lot of games that don't have music. Now granted, it sounds like it's only two voices. That's okay. Okay. And the fact that it's using actual music from the movie. And, this is the Cyndi Lauper song, So this is kind of, the standard issue. You have to time it just right. I think I could have made that, but whatever. So get this guy out of the way. So the idea here is that we have to get down here. I can't really use the mouse or anything. Down in the lower left-hand corner. And this bird thing will come in and hurt you if you're not in the right way. Or not in the right spot. So again, you have to time it and you have to get your guys in the right spot. So that guy's in the Mikey or whatever is in the right spot. I think this is supposed to be Data since he's brownish. The limited color palettes. So this will make that go up, but we don't want that yet because the bird will come through and hurt you. So you have to do this and then wait until the bird goes by, I think. Okay, oops. And we're on a ball here and we have to go reverse because you're like running on the ball and it goes faster and faster on the opposite direction. We go over here and then we get the key. Now we can go down here and beat the level. I think I've gotten, legitimately, I think I got it to level 8 out of 10 or 12. I don't remember. This one's a little bit more complex. So this is like a pipe. I don't know what to call it. You push, you put your guys right here, and then it does this steam thing, right? And you have to watch out. So we're like a steam shower. There's a guy up above. Now this wasn't in a movie. They start getting a little crazy with their scenes. But see if I can remember what we have to do here. I know we have to burst this pipe over here on the right hand side. I know that's one of the things we have to do. So I'm gonna go, I believe we go over here. Died. It's no good. So let's see. Okay, it's been a while. I'm trying to remember. God, I want to say I want to leave my guy here. And then we go over here. No. Over here. The same thing. I have to watch out for getting hit by the... I needed to do that in order to get by that. Okay, that makes sense. And then I think I need to hit this one. and that blew the pipe. And then not get shot by the guy that just arrived. No! I did not mean to jump. But the pipe is now busted, so I don't have to do that again. But this guy's going to shoot at me, so that makes it problematic. No! Ouch. So the Famicom version. Is that Goonies? You know, actually, I think the Famicom version is very different than this version. I don't think they're related, to be totally honest. I know they made, I know they did the Goonies 2. I'll do that again. I know they made Goonies 2, which was more popular, and then they made Goonies 1. I remember seeing it. I never tried it though. That's one of those that I probably should at some point, but still haven't yet. Wasn't paying attention. Okay. You get the idea. This game is fun. I love all four of these games. There's the Goonies, Bruce Lee, Zorro, and Conan. All based off of movies. Bruce Lee's not really based on a movie. It's based on a character, person, I should say. But all of them have a very similar feel to them. They all have music, really good soundtracks while you're playing it. Different mechanics, very, very different mechanics. But Bruce Lee is, I would probably have to say, is my favorite 8-bit game. And that's a tall order. Okay, next one, Blue Max. I hate some of these funky loading things. It's like, it just looks horrible. I love the music in this. And I'm not even British. Just the sound chip, the Pokey, and the 8-bit. A lot of the music I like better than the ST, to be honest. You have 4 voices, and they can do a lot with it. And in fact, I've thought about doing some actual audio stuff with it. Like making a synthesizer kind of stuff with it. A lot of people do that with the Commodore stuff, but I don't know if many people do it with the Pokey. I know a lot of people, they talk about the SID chip, blah, 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 blah. To be honest, and this is going to be totally biased, completely biased, but I think that going side by side and listening to the music between the Atari 8-bit and the Commodore, I think the Atari music sounds much better. But again, completely and utterly biased. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm actually trying to bomb specific targets. There's a lot kind of going on here in that the bottom part is showing different status. So it's showing the blue means that I am in range at the right altitude to be able to hit or be hit by another plane, which is good and bad depending on the direction they're going. I am also at the altitude to be able to hit stuff in the water. Okay, so I just got hit. So it took out my my bombs. Now I believe my fuel is going down like crazy because my fuel tank got shot. That's the F on the FB. So I can't bomb very well because the B means the bombs. So yeah, so there's several different areas. So there's 21 is the lowest you can go in this range. But as long as you're between 21 and 25, you're in that red range or whatever you want to call it. And you can hit everything on the ground, or almost everything I think on the ground, by just with your guns, which is very nice. You can hit the boats if you hit them just right. And all the stuff on the ground, the tanks, the missiles, all of those things. And then, obviously the planes if you're at the right height. Now there's a bunch of status stuff that keeps going, like that P. It just keeps blinking. Never did find out what that was. There is a lot of stuff in the manual that talks about what you're trying to do. But the idea is that there are special targets that you need to hit, like that one right there. If you hit it, and I'm not sure exactly, again, there's certain things that I don't totally know, because I didn't have the manual growing up. I just know that things happen better when I actually bombed the right targets and all that. Eventually, we will get a chance to be able to land. And this game actually has quite a bit going on, because if you land, and I think if you've taken out the targets, like you should, you actually get a different area. So that L, that sound means that there's going to be a landing pad or landing strip right here. So I'm going to go ahead and land. And you want to land early as you can, because if you don't, you're not going to have enough runway to take off. Now, one thing that's nice is it will refuel you and replenish your bombs and all that. Now, I think I get to go to the next area. Yep, the water's going away. And now I get to go to the next zone. So there's 3 different zones. I did go ahead and beat the game by using save states one time. I've never done it without it. But now we get into a little different area. Now we have a road, not the water, but you can actually blow up cars and everything on the road. Everything is fair game here, but the cool thing is you can, I believe, I guess not, if I could shoot those planes. So yeah, you got to watch out for when there's guys coming up behind you and it's blue, because they will take you out. And okay, phew. I believe those blinking blinking guys you're supposed to take out as well. I'm just going to avoid that guy. Guess I have to bomb the other planes. We don't want to be in that blinky. That means you're going to run into stuff and die. Okay, so... Uh-oh. So my bombs are toast now. Now we're coming back to the water. All right, Gary. Thanks for joining, man. I will see you next week. Okay. Okay, so we get to land again. I did destroy a couple of good targets, so I'm not sure. Oh, man. Came down too fast. Rank, Class 4, Air Cadet. Okay, so that's Blue Max. Awesome game. I definitely a top 5 game for me. Let's see. Have Blue Max on cartridge for the XEGS. It's fun. Interesting. Not sure what the titular Blue Max is supposed to be, the plane. But in real life, it was one of the higher German medals. I thought it was an actual person, but I don't know, to be totally honest. Next up is Pole Position, a racing game for all Atari home computers. Castardo, I'm off in a bit as well. Thank you for joining. I know this is getting late for you guys. Appreciate you being here. And we'll see how it goes on the 8-bit stream. If it's mostly Euros guys that are joining me, I'll move it to earlier. If you guys want to keep watching me, I can do it a little bit earlier, but the big thing here is that I know that the ST is a lot more popular in Europe, but I'm not sure about the 8-bit. I know there were a lot of people that really like the 8-bit in the US, so I'm hoping that some of those guys will be joining. Okay, So this is based off of the arcade game, obviously. Oh, 1 hour later for you. So okay. So didn't know where you live. So that's getting it's getting late. Thank you for joining though. I appreciate it. Okay, so we have this is interesting controls for this because it's kind of on rails as far as it's assuming you're hitting the gas. You're not. I don't have to hit the gas. The button will do the brake, and it does use up and down for the gear shift. So I'm in high right now. If I push up, it goes to low gear. If I push down, it goes to high gear. And, you know, to be honest, the controls are not bad. Driving games are always a little bit iffy when it comes to doing driving games that traditionally have an analog controller and doing it with the digital controller, as in, you know, the Atari joystick. They did a phenomenal job with this as far as being able to actually control it without having a wheel. Huh, it's at third place. It's not bad. All right, take care, Hungry Channel. Thank you for joining here. Beep. Oh, knew that was gonna happen. Gotta shift. It's gonna get gnarly. Nice. Pull it off. One of the things that always bothered me with this game, though, is the fact that when you're in a race and you're like in the first couple positions, you go and then there's cars to pass already. And it's like, why? Where did these cars come from? That's weird. That's something that always bugged me. It's like it's supposed to be quote unquote realistic. But theoretically, I mean, if you're in first place, there shouldn't be anybody out there unless you're lapping people. But, you know, it's right away that you start getting into cars. And my guess is the game is too easy otherwise. That if you didn't have enemies, if you didn't have other cars to go around, this game would be too easy. Be interesting to see what Jonathan, I always want to say Taylor, the guy who did the pole position on the ST, thinks about that, because I know he did a version of it for the ST. Jonathan something. And it'd be interesting to find out if there were no enemies, if there were no other cars, would the game be too easy? Because that's what happens. You run into other cars. Yes, you can run off the road as well, but that's not the main challenge, I guess. It's avoiding the other cars on the road. Because you can just hit there and slam it onto the other side and usually hit the corner at full blast. But if there's another car in the way, it's not going to happen. You will run into them. Or invariably. Boom! Speaking of which, other cars. Ran out of time. Oh well. Still, not bad. Did okay. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next one. All right. Hopefully still people are here, or people are still here. Since everybody's leaving. Pitfall 2 by Steve and Bruce. It's kind of odd because I don't think Steve and or Bruce had anything to do with the making of this game. I think they just had, they just cracked it. But unfortunately, that shows up. I really don't like the intros and stuff like that, the crack tros and stuff. Whatever. So this is Pitfall 2. It did come out on the 2600, but this version actually has better graphics, better sound, and more. This is actually more level, more map, for lack of a better word. This actually is the Adventurers Edition. I hate this bug. It's so annoying. You have to hit it just perfectly. Anyway, the music is one of the best soundtracks, video game soundtracks, period. Such a catchy little song. Personally, I never get tired of it. I imagine some people do, but just a phenomenal game. The amount of depth that this had compared to the original Pitfall was tremendous. So much going on. And I go all the way to the beginning. That sucks. Let's see if this stupid dude is going to hit me again. No! Can use my fast forward button to get through that. Yay! You can just... Okay, let's do this. There we go. Now I just need to get to the checkpoint and I'll be golden here. Now I have to do it just right to get on the ladder. There we go. Now, checkpoint. Nice. Hate that frog. He is annoying. Actually, all the bad guys are annoying. If we could just remove those, that would be great. Oh, I could have gone probably in. Oh, phew. Have to get that gold. A lot of times I'll just drop like this just because I don't want to deal with the bad guys there. Ah! So I remember... So I play this game a lot. And I remember... There's a cool thing in this game that I found and I was like ecstatic. I was like, what the? That is so cool. I'm going to show you guys in here in a second here. Let's see if I can get to it. Hopefully this doesn't kill me. Alright, went too far. Maybe I guess I had to be on the level not in the water. Alright, here we go. I have to deal with that stupid frog. I hate dealing with the frog. That's why. So I'm going to be on the bottom level. Alright. So I can just fall. Theoretically. If you don't run into anything, you can just fall. Let's try again. Getting impatient, that's the problem. I shouldn't be impatient. I should take my time to go down the full ladder here. Guess I can get that gold. I like gold. So I remember I needed to go past this frog and not die. Okay, cool. I'm gonna ignore that gold. Okay, don't kill me, frog, please. No! Okay. I want to show you guys this thing. Oh, wow. I did not mean to do that. I want to show you this cool thing, but if it's going to take forever, I don't want to. Oh, almost got ate by the frog. Okay, I am going to do this. Maybe. Can I do it? Yeah, I can do this, I guess. Okay, let's see if it doesn't eat me. There we go. That's what I was trying to do. Now a scorpion. Okay, I want to hit that target. That checkpoint. There we go. This is what I want to show you. Ready? So notice how I can jump really high? When I found this, I was like, what the? I had no idea this was in the game. I mean, as a kid, I was just tripping out at this is the thing. I got one of the guys I'm trying to get with the checkbox, check mark, whatever, checkpoint, and then there's more stuff over here. Now jump. I want to say there's a thing. Bounce off the wall. And you fall there. It's been a while. That's a long fall. So then... Oops. That's not what I wanted to do. But anyway, you got the idea. The hot air balloon, or balloon, I guess. Just so cool. I absolutely love that. All right, next, Ninja. So this was one of the few games that I actually beat. I was determined one day, and this was one I didn't need the save states. I actually beat the game when I actually had the original machine. Okay, the music can get a little annoying, and I'll probably turn it down after a while. But so you're a ninja, so you could probably figure that one out. So I'm gonna just pick a direction. Now I'm gonna throw some of those throwing stars that I have, and then do that. So I can do kicks. I can also use my ninja sword. But the sword, you have to get right up, all up in there, and that's not usually very good. So usually I'm using the stars, and that knife is kind of annoying because it doesn't work every time. Because it can hit the back of the knife, which is kind of annoying. And what happens a lot of times is when it does hit, then it'll go flying, the next one will go flying. Which is kind of annoying. Now the thing is, like that. Now the thing is that the bad guys can pick it up, which we don't want. I guess I could have gone the other way. So I've fought all these guys here now. So we get here and we go up. And then now we got two guys. Like it's a little bit harder. And if you don't, so now they respawn, which is annoying. Wow. Okay. Ouch. I'm hurting. So there is these shrines or idols, I guess, around that will heal you. And those did hardly anything. And now they pick them up and throw them back at me. And that guy has one of them. So yeah, so that's problematic here. So the next one that comes out, he might throw it at me. But a ninja, not a thug or whatever. So, now cool thing is that heals me, which is nice. So we're trying to get, I want to say 7 idols? Idols? It's been a while. 2 idols. Okay. I don't need to fight that guy, because that was a dead end. So no idols over there. So now we go to the 3rd level. Pick up these stars and stuff. There's no idols there. Diamond Hall. Ow. Evil Ninja. Okay, so there is an idol there. I want to grab that. So I have all 3 throwing stars. Theoretically, if I can land on them and actually get my idol, which is good. Come on. Come on, there we go. Alright, so I'm going to go up. Big green door. Really? Basically, I threw the knives at him and they didn't land properly. One thing is I don't want to idle over the door, because that happens. It's like, I guess I can go get my stars that way. And then go back up. Okay. Oh boy! Wow. No. I don't really want to fight 4 guys. Thank you very much. Well, I'll fight 3, I guess. But not 4 ninjas. That's insane. Okay, so I'm getting low on health, but there's an idol there, so I'm gonna grab it. Okay, I don't need to fight those guys because there's a wall there. I think I'm gonna go down. Whoops. What? Whoop. So there's an idol there, which is nice. Nothing there. So I'll go ahead and grab that idol. Didn't really need it for health reasons, but that's okay. Okay. Whoops. That's a no good. Okay. Only one dude now. That's kind of funny. It's like don't like the guys, just go down or up and you get different guys. Okay, so we got 6 idols. I want to say there's only one more. Let's go up here. Akuma's Chamber. This is, I believe, the last area. Okay. Well, let's see what we can do. I think it's interesting how the color palette shifted. Nothing. Come on. I don't really want to get too close because then they'll hurt me. Don't fall down the hole. That's what I don't want to happen. This is Akuma's Chamber. So I want to say this was like the end, but I'm not quite sure. Big green door. Maybe I need to go to the initial area. I don't remember, to be honest. It's kind of weird. There is music, like, during the fight. But it's just occasional. Okay, so that's the game. So I just beat it in one sitting. Pretty minimal. But I actually really liked it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's go to Quasimodo. This is an interesting game. It's definitely unlike a lot of the others. What's this? Oh, okay. Alright, let's go ahead and start. It came to pass long ago that 3 mysterious jewels with ancient powers of teleportation were found and secretly hidden by Quasimodo in his underground cave beneath a dark medieval castle, where Quasi hoped that the powerful jewels would be safe from the dark forces of evil. And so they were, until one day when they were stolen. Time for revenge. So Synapse Software, they made some really good games on the 8-bit. Don't know what happened to them after the 8-bit era, but they made some great ones. They're the ones that made Blue Max and quite a few others. So this is kind of an interesting one where you're kind of just throwing these barrels or whatever they are, balls of some sort, at these guys trying to climb up. Now you can go, you don't have to go diagonal, you can go straight down. So what you're trying to do here is you're trying to grab the jewel. And then we can go through this teleportation device. And we can put the jewel right here. And we can go to the next level. I love how it bounces off the walls. Starting to get a little faster now. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. If I try to go through here, it won't let me. So what I have to do is I actually have to come up here. And now I can ring the bell. And I can try going to the other bells and go up the right-hand side. Or I can just go up the left-hand side here. So I have to go a little bit away a little bit and then can jump up here. Now this gets a little crazy with these birds going. Bats, I should say. Not birds. Bats. Bats in the belfry, right? Isn't that the idea? Whoa. Really? Wow. So this is one I remember I had, but I never played it that much. I played it only a couple times, but it was one I was always intrigued by. I don't know why I didn't play it more, but very cool game. That jump is kind of nuts. Could also try to go up this right-hand side. Let me try that instead. Some of these jumps get a little nuts. That jump is nuts. Sorry I said that, but whatever. Ouch. Let's try again. Challenging. Okay, getting a little frustrated. Just gotta get it just right. And the bells, I don't think you have to ring them. I think it's just if you go, oh, there we go. Here we go. We go. No, don't die. Okay. Man, really? Ah! Okay, that's frustrating. Let's go to the next one. That was probably out of all these, that's one I probably played the least. Fun game, but a little frustrating on the bells. Okay, so now the longest game name, I think, well, probably not ever, but it's a pretty long game name. It has a cool intro too, so I'm gonna let it play here. The Great American Cross Country Road Race. I guess it's not that cool, but it's kind of cool. There wasn't a whole lot of intros in a lot of these games. So I think for me, when we did have one, it was cool. Okay, so this, if you're familiar with the movie Cannonball Run, it's pretty close to that as far as the idea is that we're trying to get from LA to New York. Now we can pick whichever path we want. I don't think we would go through to San Francisco, but I guess we could. So we could go through Vegas, we can go through Phoenix, Albuquerque, or Vegas. I'm going to go ahead and take Albuquerque. So the interesting part about this game is that it's a manual transmission. So button is the accelerator. Up. Hold on a minute. Okay. Up is the shift up, and down is to brake, and it will automatically shift you down. So we don't want to get going too fast. One of the things is when you're going this fast, though, it does eat up gas quite a bit, so we have to watch that. I think we can get to Albuquerque in one tank, though. Maybe. So we gotta watch our fuel gauge. So you can blow your engine if you try keep hitting the accelerator when you've revved up too higher RPM. It will blow your engine. In which case you have to push your car to the gas station. And notice how it keeps saying like gas on the left, gas on the right. So we're going to need fuel pretty soon. So the next time it says that, I'm going to actually pay attention. So get it going a good pace here. Gas on the left. And I missed it. Got to go for the next one. And it's going to be rough. Really easy to miss the gas station. And you don't want to run out of gas because you will have to push. I'm going to stay in first gear just to make sure that I don't pass it. Out of gas. So I'm going to coast right in. And to push, there we go. You just keep tapping the button. Not bad. Okay, now we're in business. Kind of like we were talking about, pole position. Biggest problem is all the other cars. And of course I drive down the middle because that's what you do, right? What's funny is it never occurred to me to drive on the right and then get over like traditional rules. Always in the middle, because that's the easiest way to pass somebody. So we're coming up on the town of Albuquerque, New Mexico, which I was just in not that long ago. Ah! I really loved, as a kid, the graphics on the HUD, or the dash, I guess, were amazing to me. The speedometer and all of that stuff. Okay, so we can go from Albuquerque to St. Louis. So we're in 7th place. We're gonna need gas. I'm still going to keep it in first gear just so I make it. Running out of gas sucks. There we go. So one thing I did early on that I said, hold on a minute, is that there was a radar warning. And the deal is that you have two ways of dealing with the cops. One, you can pull over, or rather you can go slow, which I think the speed is like 55 or something. Old school, speed limits. And basically just barely pass the cop. Or you can just go up to 240 miles per hour, like now. Go in the center, and I might be able to make it. Nope. Where's the fire? Okay. It's much more fun when you hit the 240 and just blow past them. Whoa! It's getting a little nuts. There's just a lot of cars on this road. Oh! I was thinking about stopping, but didn't quite make it. Ah! Night mode. I was just like when it went into nighttime. There we go. Cool. Should have headlights. That'd be nice. So I should be rolling into St. Louis here. At the Arch? That's cool. They tried to do some of the stuff for each city. Try to show like what they're known for in their skyline and stuff. I believe like New York City or yeah, all the different ones have cool stuff on them. Okay. So what place are we in? Fog warning. Limited visibility. You are now in 8th place beyond Careful Caroline. Great. So we can go to Cincinnati or we can go to Chicago. Cincinnati has fog. I think I'm just going to go with Chicago. Don't need gas yet. I'll wait till the next one probably. Okay, can I do it? Can I do it? Can I do it? Yes. One thing that's also kind of cool is it wow, already city limits. One of the things that's kind of neat is it does put you on a straightaway. Gas on the right. Come on now. My idiot lights on. Come on. I'm gonna run out of gas. Barely. Okay. So should be rolling into Chicago here. Oh boy. It's starting to get light. That's nice. Trying to keep it kind of slow so that I can actually drive and not die. Okay. Detroit to Chicago. I'm in 11th place. Yuck. Alright, let's go to Chicago. Go to Detroit. Don't need gas. Oh boy. I might make it. I made it and didn't crash. Just not yet, at least. City limits already. Not bad. Okay. Nice. Okay, Detroit to New York. This is the last leg, I think. I'm in 10th place. Well, I actually was able to go up a place, so that's cool. Should I get gas? No, I'm gonna wait. Traffic is a little crazy. Okay, now we need a gas station. Gas on right. Okay, should be good to go now. Wow, traffic is a little nuts. I think I'm gonna stay in this gear. Whoa. Man, how am I supposed to pass all these guys if there's just a wall of cars? Ah! Come on. Keep it slower, I guess. Ah! I'm not going to make it if I keep running into cars. Ah! Whoa! I snuck past him. I think I might get gas here. Why not? No sense in pushing it. Alright, can I do this? Whole line of cars there. Oh boy. City limits. Oh, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. Yep, I didn't make it. Oh boy. Whoa. It's really hard to slide by them when they're like that. Nice. Race completed. Congratulations. Your time, 28:05, did not make it on the scoreboard. All-American Al made it with a time of 19:18. So, yeah. So that was the Great American Cross Country Road Race. So, last game for the day. And that is going to be called The Last Starfighter. But what we see on the screen is actually Star Raiders 2. What's up with that? Well, The Last Starfighter is actually a prototype. And it's the version that I had. I never had Star Raiders 2. That was the official release. And it was supposed to be a tie-in with the movie. And, yeah, I think the licensing fell through or something happened, and it never happened. So they decided to rebrand it and called it Star Raiders 2. Greetings, Starfighter. You have been recruited by the Star League to defend the frontier against Zur and the Kodan Armada. So, this game is awesome. So the deal is Star Raiders 2 is very similar. They took a lot of the names out and they called them something else. I don't remember. Something lame. I could fire it up, but the idea is that I knew the let's see. I knew The Last Starfighter as being the game. Okay, so we have We want to check here to see if there's anybody here that or attacking. And it doesn't look like it. So we have the Kodan Squadron. We have this guy. Let's do, I guess this one seems to be the one that's closest. So now we're in space. We're not on the surface. I really like the way they did the animation for the ships. They did an amazing job of making this feel like real dogfighting kind of thing, like in Star Wars, where he takes the turret. So this is kind of interesting. So we got this mothership thing that you got to fire just at the right time. Can be a little frustrating. You have to just target it just right. And it can be a pain, as I said. Got it. Okay. And they have all different colors, which is kind of interesting. And it has shields, which is irritating. So, one more. Okay. Okay, so now I'm almost out of fuel, so I'm actually going to go to the sun and get some fuel. And let's make sure that there's fighters and destroyers at this place. So I'm going to go ahead and go there, but I'm going to wait till I'm full. Hull temp critical. Now we're back on the planet. Very cool looking. I love hitting these guys and they go flying off and into space with the smoking. It's just phenomenal. I really like that aspect. Now we have a mothership. Systems malfunction. So when that happens, I have to go to the star and get repaired. So I got to fight this destroyer again. So they are trying to destroy cities, and you can kind of use a city as bait, which is not ideal. You're trying to prevent them from destroying cities, but by them trying to destroy a city, you can get a shot on them. Okay, so this guy is getting really close to that planet, so I'm going to attack him from in space still. I believe it's better to destroy them before they get to the planet. That would make sense. Fight a destroyer again. I'm going to need some fuel real soon. Energy level critical. Okay, I gotta go. So Rylos is the home planet. Still able to fight them out in space, which is good. Haven't quite gotten to the planet. Systems malfunction, but I'm still able to shoot, so. Barrier under attack. Which, I think that's the outside, like the solar system, but I think that's right here. So we'll see. Oh, it's been a while since I've done this. So I can actually go to a different system, which is kind of neat. And the ships look different, which is kind of cool. They changed the color. I believe these enemies are more difficult. Get over here. It definitely seems to be more plentiful. Will you die? Come on. There we go. Nope. Still more. Jeez. Systems malfunction. But at least I can shoot still. Jeez. Enemy in range. Oh, fuel. Almost ran out of fuel there. Where was I? Let's go fight one of these. They're coming in. They're getting close to my system, so. They're not here? There we go. Nice. I think it said that systems malfunction though. Oh right, I remember this. The the radar is all messed up. It's okay. I don't need the radar to be able to shoot these guys. The issue is I don't know exactly where they're at. It could be to the right, could be to the left. There we go, to the right. Come on. I hate those shields they've got. Go to the right, go to the left, there we go. I'm gonna have to go get fuel here in a minute. Energy level critical. I got him. I don't know what all those sounds were, but let's make sure that they haven't gone into my area yet. Okay, what's that? That's another one coming in. Let's go to that one. Looks like it's the closest. So I'm not a fan of fighting the destroyers. You know, the fighters, not a big deal. They're kind of fun. But the destroyers are, to be honest, kind of annoying. You know, they move around all erratically, and then you just have to keep firing and keep directing your fire so that it actually hits them. And there's a ton of them, usually. There's a ton of destroyers that you have to destroy. And it just gets a little tiring, is all. I do like the fact that they randomize the colors. It's kind of cool. Energy level critical. Come on. Is there anybody at home planet? No. Okay, we're all good. Just gotta fight this last squadron or this last destroyer. Hopefully last. Barrier under attack, so I gotta go deal with that. I wonder if I should deal with that now. I can't do anything. I'm shooting. There we go. That was weird. It wouldn't let me. Okay, well, I want to take out this thing first because it's just destroyers. There should only be a couple left. One or two. Thing is, though, I mean, this game it's not beatable. Things will just continue to pop in. They have an unlimited amount of guys. Which is kind of... It is what it is. It's a, you know, arcade type game. Systems malfunction, so that's my radar again. That's fine. But I will need some fuel, so I'm going to have to deal with that now. Well, just rinse and repeat. That was dumb. I should not have gone yet. Let's try that again, shall we? Okay, let's wait till I'm full. Then I will go to the fight here. Cool. Okay, I think all these guys are destroyed. Everything in here. We have all of our cities, actually, which is nice. I believe you start off with 50. And... okay. kind of curious if we go to the other star system. See what's in here. So I love how the reticle or whatever like comes in like from the sides. Okay. I'm gonna go get some energy. So I'm actually about ready to end the stream. So I'm gonna show you what happens if you stay too long on the sun. Hull temp critical. Hull temp critical. And my ship melted. Message: Star League is disbanded. Rylos has fallen to Zur and the Kodan Empire. Alright, guys. That's it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the stream. And I hope to see you next week. I just started up with the 8-bit streams. Definitely let me know on the time. It seems like this is getting late for a lot of people. I'm trying to make it so that everybody can join. I know it's really difficult for some. But in any case, I will see you in the next adventure. Take care.